Hi, Alison. Thank you for joining me today. You're joining us to chat a little bit about the fundraiser you're doing for the Irish Kidney Association. You're doing a massive walking challenge of 180 kilometers, taking partly in your hometown, and then you're coming up to Dublin to do the big walk from Heuston to Beaumont. So it's a big
Yep.
undertaking that you're going on, and it's all for an amazing cause. You're fundraising and for the services of the Irish Kidney Association. But maybe, just to introduce you, why you're doing this and why you've chosen the Irish Kidney Association, could you share a little bit about what it is that you're undertaking in this walking challenge?
So it is for the Irish Kidney Association. Um, it, it it is from the March the 6th to March 13th. It involves a 180-kilometer walk in my own local areas. Um, the last day, which is World Kidney Day, the 13th of March, I'll be traveling very early in the morning up to Heuston Station, disembarking off that train at 20 past, hopefully 20 past 8. We'll go to the Phoenix Park, pass over by the American Embassy over there, that small nature trail over by the Papal Cross, and do a lap of that huge area that's in front of the Papal Cross, and then make our way out to Beaumont Hospital, where I will reflect and give thanksgiving to the person that quite literally saved my life and gave me a second chance at life through organ donation. We'll spend maybe an hour there, and we'll come back down home to Tipperary, and we'll have a quick shower change, get back over to Cashel, and just the very first roundabout as you enter into Cashel town, there's a little bypass road on the right hand side. We're going to walk from there down through Cashel town up to the Rock of Cashel, where I was granted permission by the OPW that they were going to switch on the lights, or the light color purple, representing World Kidney Day. Um, this will be the conclusion of my walk. Uh, I would like to encourage people to come out and join in at different times in different areas as I go along the way. Um, and Yeah, for that's what I'm up to at the minute. There's a lot of training involved. It just wasn't just coming up with the idea. This is something that was in my mind. It gave me a purpose in 2019 when I was really sick, and I needed something to be positive about and to look forward to. I didn't think it would happen this soon, but it has. Um, but it's given me a drive and a motivation. After 6 weeks after transplant, I started going back, doing small little bits. I built myself up slowly. And before I knew, I was doing 10 kilometers in the morning and 10 kilometers in the evening. And then every second day, I was going to the gym because I had to put the strength back into my legs again to build up the muscle, because they had been so weak for so long. They weren't in proper use. And there was a lot, there has been a lot of work gone into this. Um, so
Yeah,
hopefully
no,
everything will be okay.
yeah, it's a huge amount of work, and just to reiterate, like you basically you needed to be training for this for so long because you're walking for the first 7 days. You're walking about 25 kilometers a day, roughly, which it's to most people, I mean, getting a 5K in maybe a couple of times a week is good,
It's a
and
mammoth.
it's a
It's a
huge
mammoth
amount.
task.
It is huge. And
It is.
then that's for 7 days straight. And then on the eighth day on World Kidney Day, as you said, you're walking from Heuston Station to Beaumont Hospital. Again, no small feat. And I mean, how did you, I know you had this in the back of your mind for a long time now, but as you say, it's coming up now, and a lot of preparations need to be put in place for this. So how did you go about, I mean, when you decided, okay, I'm actually going to do this, here are the dates I'm going to do this. How did you prepare physically, but also mentally to take on the challenge?
Well, as I said, like you had, if you want to do something like that, you have to just go out every day. You can't just turn your nose up to it. You have to keep going. As I said, going in and out of the gym, it was gradually building myself up in a physical way. And then mentally, I did was doing a little bit of meditation as well, because you have to take time out from that as well. Just concentrate in your own mindset and focus on what you have to do. And that takes a lot too, because life brings an awful lot of stress as well. So you have to try and switch off from one to the other,
Yeah.
as well as taking care of myself now, because my life is important too. And I treasure that now, you know. And
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
miracle that I'm even able to do it, you know.
yeah. And that no, that is a huge part of this as well. It's the ability, as you say, to be able to do this in the first place. You know, it is a celebration in itself, and um, something that I think it would be quite inspiring to a lot of people in your similar position. I know we're obviously a lot of people are at different stages post-transplant, and a lot of people have different capabilities in themselves, but even to break it down to how you approach this task, it is an incredibly inspiring thing you're doing. And we here at the Irish Kidney Association, we're so thankful that you have chosen us as the charity to raise the funds for it. It's a huge honor. And part of why you chose us, you spoke a bit there about the mental side of things and how important that is to you. And that is part of the post-trans and dialysis experience as well. It is a very heavy
Yeah,
mental thing. And part of what you got to experience as a service from the Irish Kidney Association is the peer support service. And you got a peer support friend through that, and she did help you a lot with the mental side of things. So can you explain just what kind of support did you receive through peer support during this time?
oh, I got amazing support. I couldn't have asked for a better person to be involved with, to be honest. I often say this. Um, Foremost, it was one of my, outside my own family, it was one of my greatest privileges to have sat in front of somebody that quite literally had PhD in listening. It's a rare thing to happen. Not alone that, it was her guidance, it was her encouragement that inspired me. I'm a changed person since I had peer support. I'm found myself through peer support. I know my own value now. I know my own worth. I have my little bit of confidence back. I'm never going to trip over my confidence. But that little bit that I have, I hold on to that really dearly now. Uh, and it was just one of the most emotional, inspiring parts of my dialysis life. This person prepared me without me realizing, prepared me away from my transplant. She was the very last person I spoke to on the outside world. 2.5 hours later, I got that call from Beaumont to say they were ready for me for my transplant. And I'll never forget those words that she had asked me at the end of the call. That evening, we were about 10 minutes over, I think. And she just said, "Could I ask you a question, Alison?" And I said, "Of course you can." And I remember my eye contact wasn't the best at the time, and that left me down with a bang. And I sincerely apologize for that, because that isn't really me. But she she just said, "Alison, what would you do if you get that call tonight?" And I remember looking away, and then I remember glancing back, and I just said, "No, that wouldn't happen. That won't happen." And she said, "No, but what if it does happen?" And I said, "I'll probably skip up the road." And 2.5 hours later, I got that call. It
Wow.
was it was just a magical time, like, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I can't explain that. It was just fabulous.
No, that's a huge moment, and it's real life too. It
You,
sounds like it's a movie moment, but it was real life for you, and that is an
it
incredible,
was real life. Yeah.
yeah. And so now you are getting this wonderful opportunity to celebrate, And this next week, 8 days, is all about celebration. And as you say, to end out the walking challenge, you were celebrating by being able to light up the Rock of Cashel in quite lovely, the signature purple color of the Irish Kidney Association. So what does that moment of being able to celebrate that moment, what do you think it's going to mean for you?
It's going to mean everything. I'm going to be so humbled by it, to be honest. It's an honor to be involved. I've never been part of anything in my life, and this will be a moment to cherish because it brings everything into context of what everything the Irish Kidney stands for and what they do for us patients, carers, and families. The work, I can't emphasize that, and I've realized that in the last couple of weeks, the work that goes on behind the scenes, people realizing they do a remarkable job trying to provide for us with the different services. And I'm trying to let people know and realize this, just because you don't see them, you know, that they're there, they're working hard for you. There's never a no in anything that you might say, or it's just a fantastic charity, and it's an honor for me to be doing this, and I'm delighted. I'm thrilled.
Brilliant. And on top of this, you are 1 year transplanted, and that is a huge achievement as well. How has your life been over the past year in terms of have you noticed any big changes in terms of how you feel, what you can do post receiving a kidney transplant?
The things that I can do now that I could never do before, I can get very emotional at times, because when I look in the mirror and that reflection comes back, I'm now liking myself. I like what I see. For instance, being able to do something like this is a moment to cherish. Just little bits and pieces. All I ever wished for was one day in my life to know what that was like to live a normal day. And I'm after getting almost 365 days. That's a dream come true for me. I don't think big, but I always keep my positivity, and I always believe. And when you believe like that, follows hope. Mm-hmm. And when you hope, anything's possible. And that's the way I've always looked.
Those are certainly good words, good strong words to live by. And
yeah,
it's definitely, it shows in your actions and what you're doing. You are continuing to bring hope to more people through what you're doing. And as you said, people can help you on your journey. The fundraising side of it is open for anyone to offer their support through, they can make donations to you. So for people who want to help you on your journey, want to help you in your fundraiser, what are the ways that people can help support your walking challenge?
So they can donate through the idonate.ie, Alison Fogarty Irish Kidney Association. There's QR codes there. Follow the links. On the days that we are out, there will be buckets, but if you can at all, anything at all would be greatly appreciated. And thanks everybody so far with all their good wishes and all their donations so far. They've been amazing.
Fantastic. Well, really, from the deepest depths of our heart, best of luck with the walking challenge. We're right behind you. We're cheering you every step of the way, and we're looking forward to seeing you when you get to Beaumont and get to say you've done it. So best of luck again.
Thank you, Carrie.
Thank you again for coming on and sharing your story with us, Alison.